All right, you guys, it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally, to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard. The conclusion here, I have said this since before, long before this ever broke out between her and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? She has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch, regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is, when despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years. She's best friends with Blake Lively. Ryan and Blake and two other of her friends all staged a mass unfollowing of Joe Alwyn like they were 13 years old. Okay, Ryan, you're 48 years old. Grow up. Literally grow up. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life. And the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay? This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the evidence.
If the polished face you see on magazine covers and red carpets is hiding a web of untold drama behind closed courtroom doors, that's the unsettling question swirling around one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars, Blake Lively, as she navigates an intense legal clash with actor-director Justin Baldoni. On the surface, Lively appears to be the very definition of perfection, a respected actress, devoted mother, and fashion icon. But even in Tinseltown, illusions can only go so far before reality steps in. Today, we're peeling back the shiny exterior and diving headfirst into the controversy that has everyone buzzing. Why is Blake Lively so determined to keep this battle under wraps, and what might be lurking beneath her seemingly flawless reputation? For years, Hollywood has fostered a myth that your star status can protect you from nearly anything. From everyday inconveniences to major scandals, it's a place where PR strategies and high-profile friends often smooth over the rough edges of life. But a court of law doesn't bow to prestige or top billing. You might waltz into a courtroom with your carefully curated entourage and the best stylist money can buy, yet the minute the judge calls your name, none of that matters. That's exactly the situation Blake Lively appears to find herself in. She's long been an A-lister, but still capable of drawing crowds at every red carpet event. She's known for philanthropic deeds, high fashion statements, and a squeaky clean public image. So why is she, of all people, caught in the crosshairs of a legal dispute with Justin Baldoni? Someone also respected but not well known. Actually, no one even knew his name before this lawsuit. According to the whispers flying around, Lively's usual control over how she's portrayed is slipping. This is a collision between her meticulously crafted persona and a legal reality she can't finesse. It's a stark lesson that, in a courtroom, stardom doesn't stop a determined lawyer from digging into every little corner of your life, and for those paying close attention, the tension is only growing. Something bigger is going on than a routine dispute, and it may well upend everything we think we know about Blake Lively. But that's not the full story. Yet. When celebrities feel cornered, one of their go-to strategies is the gag order. On paper, it makes sense. If you can't stop the legal process, you can at least try to muzzle the most damaging remarks. It's the glitziest money can buy. However, courts aren't always so easily swayed. Gag orders exist primarily to protect the integrity of a trial or to safeguard sensitive parties, think minors or vulnerable witnesses. But trying to hush an entire legal case just because you don't like what they might say, that's a tougher sell. Despite that, rumors suggest Blake Lively has repeatedly sought these orders against both Baldoni and his attorney Brian Friedman. She's reportedly pointed to sensitive information and inflammatory comments as reasons to clamp down on public statements. But every time she moves to button up the conversation, the judge appears to brush those requests aside. Why? Critics argue that if you drag a dispute into court, You don't get to turn the entire proceeding into a private VIP event. Meanwhile, fans are scratching their heads, wondering what Lively might be so desperate to hide. No matter the answers, one thing is certain. Each denial of these hush requests only amplifies the curiosity surrounding the entire situation. And the deeper we dig, the more complicated it becomes. Many high-profile legal scuffles vanish before they make it to a public hearing. Sometimes there's a quiet settlement, often sealed behind non-disclosure agreements, where money changes hands and everyone moves on. Or, in some cases, the court dismisses suits seen as frivolous. That's precisely the outcome Blake Lively's team reportedly aimed for when they tried to convince the judge that this case should be thrown out. But the judge wasn't having it. In an era where courts demand concrete evidence to toss out a lawsuit, Lively's pleas seem to fall on deaf ears. In other words, the star power that often opens doors for her in Hollywood appears locked out of the legal chambers. This is no fleeting rumor about who's dating whom or which project is next on her IMDb page. Instead, it's a clash that's picking up momentum, fueled by every failed effort to shut it down. The public and media have taken notice. Why would someone as outwardly unproblematic as Lively push so hard to make a legal battle disappear? Is it a matter of principle? Or is she afraid of skeletons rattling too loudly if this goes to trial? The judge's refusal to budge has turned a routine civil dispute into a boiling pot of speculation, and the more she tries to douse the flames, the more it looks like a 5-alarm fire to outsiders. But that's not even the most crucial twist waiting in the wings. Few words send a chill down celebrities' spine faster than deposition in a civil lawsuit. Depositions are the ultimate truth-fishing expedition, where lawyers ask pointed questions under oath, no red carpet, no carefully prepared script, and absolutely no do-overs. Any slip or half-truth can become ammunition in court. It's a stark contrast to the media interviews Hollywood figures control so tightly. If the rumors are accurate, Blake Lively is going to extreme lengths to avoid a face-off with Brian Friedman, the attorney representing Justin Baldoni. Friedman is said to have a flair for drama, once threatening to sue her into oblivion. Understandably, that's enough to make anyone sweat. But in the eyes of the court, personal tension isn't a valid reason to skip out on a deposition. If anything, Friedman's brash style might make things more uncomfortable. But that's the nature of litigation. Lively's repeated attempts to delay or block the deposition only fuel the rumor mill. What does she fear might emerge if Friedman starts asking pointed questions under oath? Fans speculate it could be anything from behind-the-scenes manipulations to contractual disputes. Meanwhile, critics argue that refusing to answer questions only makes it look like there's something worth hiding. In the end, the law rarely lets people hide from depositions unless there are truly extraordinary circumstances. And for every motion Lively's team files, Friedman seems more determined than ever to grill her in that interrogation chair.
Always in cars.
One misstep could blow this case wide open, revealing everything she's trying so hard to keep behind closed doors. But depositions are only part of a larger puzzle. No one thrives in the spotlight quite like Blake Lively. She's a fashion darling, often hailed for her impeccable style. With brand endorsements and philanthropic appearances, her image sparkles as bright as the diamonds she wears. Yet, legal proceedings don't cater to image management. They revolve around facts, testimonies, and evidence. Even the most well-orchestrated PR campaign can't overshadow a damning revelation spelled out in court documents. Behind the scenes, Lively's influential network might be working overtime. Top agencies, crisis managers, and high-profile advisors typically excel at reshaping narratives before the public can pounce on a star's missteps. But this situation isn't a canceled talk show appearance or a mild social media scandal. This is an ongoing legal conflict, where each filing, hearing, and motion becomes a matter of public record. Sweeping it under the rug isn't so simple. Fans are left grappling with a startling possibility. Maybe the star they admire isn't just a humble, all-smiles icon. Maybe the polished persona is a product of shrewd marketing. After all, can anyone truly maintain that level of perfection without the occasional miscalculation? If Lively loses control of this story, the repercussions could be severe, both for her brand image and for those who invest in the notion that she's incapable of wrongdoing. But Fredman isn't the only figure in this legal storm. Brian Fredman cuts a polarizing figure. One moment, he's that no-nonsense attorney calling out alleged misdeeds. The next, he's delivering theatrical lines about suing high-profitable individuals into oblivion. Critics see him as an opportunist, using big names to catapult his own reputation to greater heights. Supporters argue he's simply doing his job, pushing as hard as possible to defend his clients' interests. For Blake Lively, Fredman represents the one person in this entire fiasco she desperately wants to avoid. And who can blame her? His approach is direct, perhaps confrontational. He's rumored to hold documents and evidence that could undermine the star's narrative. It's no wonder she's objecting to him personally leading her deposition. What is it about Fredman's approach that has Lively so on edge? Some suggest he could be holding receipts that confirm behind-the-scenes power plays. Others believe he's simply using intimidation as a tactic to weaken her resolve. Either way, it's fueling a drama so intense that fans, critics, and even casual bystanders are watching closely, eager to see if Fredman will crack her polished exterior once and for all.